Carpentry and Cleaning Servicing, providing exceptional carpet and cleaning, floor installation, refinishing, home renovations, drywall, painting, plastering, doors and moldings, electrical and plumbing, and much more. We are a one-stop shop for all your professional needs. Give us a call today on 718-221-5572. That is 718-221-5572. Or you can call our cell on 917-939-3192. Check out our sales on all services. We're located at 218 Schenectady Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Phillips Carpentry and Cleaning Servicing.
Yeah. Welcome, one and all. Welcome to the ride. Welcome to Monday. Monday on the ride. Yes. As you come in, go ahead and share up the thing right now. Share up the thing. Hey, Shirley. How you doing, Shirley? Big up yourself. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Who else inside? Who else inside? Hey, Kibbs. How you doing? Big up yourself. Welcome to the ride. Let me share as well, Jed. Today's an interesting conversation. I ain't gonna lie. Today, it's a very interesting conversation. And it's based on something that happened. I make sure my audio is good. Yeah, my audio is good. Yeah. Guys, it's based on something that happened over the weekend. A video that went viral all over social media this weekend. Today, we're here to put it into perspective, really. We have a lawyer, Ruggles Ferguson, who's going to be joining us shortly to give us a legal perspective as to what transpired there. We also have a response from the individual, the young man that was arrested, as he gave it from his point of view, what actually transpired before the camera started to roll now. So we have that. And of course, we have you guys, because you know you guys are very opinionated. We want to get your views as well. Also, guys, I have a friend who is a former police officer, right? Communicate all the time, give me some great insights. He also gave me a perspective from a police end, right? I'm going to read that to you guys as well. So it's a lot, a whole lot to talk about here today. Thank you, Kibbs. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Marilyn Garden, how you doing? Ali, big up yourself. Thank you so much. Thank you. Guys, everybody press the love. Press that love button, guys. Because you know what they say, love conquers all, eh? No matter what, love conquers all. Diane James, big up yourself. Joan, let me make sure I big up everybody. Who I ain't big up yet? Who I did not big up yet? I want to make sure I big up everybody. So anybody I didn't big up yet, let me know. Hey, good evening to the folks over there on YouTube. Barbara White on YouTube. Thank you so much, Barbara. Tag a friend. Interesting. Hold on, guys. There's a group that always... Night to you. Happy child. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Let's go right into it because we have a lot to... Hey, Sharon, how you doing? Thank you, Sharon. Thank you so much. Kevin, big up yourself. All right, guys, let's get into it. Bruno! How could I forget Bruno? Big up yourself, Bruno. All right, guys, let's get into it. V, big up yourself. All right, guys, so, boy, Lord have his mercy. Let me tell you, right along, you guys are some of the most opinionated people I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, an incident happened this weekend, guys, involving a young man and a police officer, right? what transpired was the young man somehow, well, I'll let the young man give his own story. Let me set up this real quick, right? I want you guys to look at it. Some of you guys saw it already, but I want you guys to look at it again. This is what transpired, and this is the topic that we're going to be speaking about today. Take a look at this.
She truly has any ground with?
Yeah. Stop. No, man. Let me see. Party. Stop.
Lego the man, let him go.
Yo. I'm telling you. You know, man. I respect what she was disrespecting. She was insulting the man. What I mean, he had the IT. I agree with him. I just come and see what happened after.
And she told me hat on the ground, I respect. She told me voice on the ground, I respect.
Just what the provision on them on the corner.
All right. So that's what happened there. Now, a lot of people responded to this and spoke about two things in particular. One of the things that a lot of people spoke about is the fact that the police officer who making the arrest, before she, during the altercation or during the arrest, she took her hat off and looking for a place to put it, she put it on the ground. She put her hat on the ground. A lot of people took major offense to that. The other thing that a lot of you guys took offense to is the fact that the method of the arrest. The fact that the young man had the baby in his arm. That was put into question as well. Now, to help us understand and analyze this whole video right here is attorney at law, Mr. Ruggles Ferguson. Ruggles, are you there? Could you hear me?
Yes. Good evening, Junior. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you just fine, Ruggles.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
Yes.
Ruggles, for joining us to help put this whole thing into a legal perspective right here. All right, Ruggles, you got a chance to see the video, right? Your initial
Yes.
reaction to this commotion.
Yes. Okay. I actually just came off another program on another issue, but I saw most of it. I saw most of it after you sent it to me. Now, part of the difficulty is that it does not show how it all started.
Right.
So I don't know what went on before. I think it starts, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I saw it once. That it started with the officer holding on to the gentleman.
Yes.
Right. What caused the holding on? I can't determine from watching the video. But
Right.
what is clear from the video is that the officer intends to effect an arrest.
Yes.
Now, an arrest is a denial of one's liberty. An arrest is made pursuant to some offense committed. And in matters like these, especially as is a live matter, I try to put things in perspective by not commenting on the rights and wrongs of what is before me, because I'm sure it will be subject to some sort of investigation and possibly a judicial process. So I don't
Right.
want to prejudice in any way. But on those occasions, what there are teaching moments in a way, and the teaching moment here is with respect to arrest. When is an arrest justifiable? When is a detention justifiable? What is the difference between an arrest and a detention?
Right.
Now, okay, so it starts off with the Constitution, as I always like to start off, which provides for the liberty of the subject. And that liberty can only be taken in special circumstances. And those special circumstances include the right to arrest when an offense, an arrestable offense, is being committed. Now, it's difficult from watching the tape to know what the arrestable offense is, whatever happened before the start of this video.
Okay, so stick up in there, Ruggles, because I have a response from the young man, right? He sort of kind of put it into perspective from his point of view, right? Let's listen to that and see if that kind of put it in better context, so we could kind of form a understanding as to what possibly happened. Check out the young man response.
No problem. Yes, so give us ideas what happened today.
Okay. So first of all, my name is Julius Mapson from Westerhall. Well, I reside with my lady in Cherry Hill. Lady and them children in Cherry Hill. And I left yesterday because the lady, she had some things to do. So I decided I would take my little son to go to the country. I left up in Westerhall. So see, you spend like a time with the grandma. So on the way down, I realized he didn't have no bus in the terminal.
Right.
So I decided, okay, we go walk. We walk, say, okay, we'll get a bus on the canal. So while going across the canal, well, not on the canal, sorry, by Farm and Garden, right in town there, and the police is building traffic.
Right.
I saw a St. David bus, so I asked the officer, is it okay if I could take the bus, please? Because I have 2 bags in my hand. I have the child and I have a big bag on my back.
Right.
She say your friend here look like the mother sons of terminal. I don't want to use the obscene language.
The police officer said that?
Yes, she say your friend here look like the effing terminal. So I say, officer, you don't have children. She said, no. I said, that way you can effing make. I said, no. I said, that way you can, that way you effing have her, or something like that. And I just walk out. And she decided she just go with me. She decided she lock him up.
Right, Ruggles. So that was sort of the context in as far as the young man explained. Now there's always multiple sides to the story. Apparently he was trying to catch a bus, a St. David's bus, right? And he asked the police officer if he could catch this bus here or whatever the case is. And she responded, but then she used a profanity towards him. And then he, in turn, as far as what he's saying again, he responded to her and used a profanity back to her. As far as what he's saying, that's what sparked the arrest.
Yes. Well, interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, first and foremost, if based on his version, and I'm not coming down on any decisive version, because as you correctly say, that there are many sides to a story. That happens to be his side.
Yes.
Assuming for the purpose of the discussion that his version is a correct version, then of course the officer did not have a right or ought not to have used any profanity, because that would mean that the officer would be herself, if that is so, committing an offense. And whether or not, if he says what he made a request to take the bus because he had a child and bags, that would be a perfectly normal request in the circumstances. Yes, you take buses from the terminal, but a police officer may exercise a discretion and say, listen, because of the circumstances, there's a child involved, he has many bags, and he was decent enough to ask if that version is true. And I'm not saying it's true, I'm just for the purpose of the discussion.
Understand, yes.
I'm saying it is his version, and if that is correct, then he would have done the decent thing, recognizing the authority of the law, and recognizing that he could be charged if he did so without the permission of the person who could charge him.
Right.
So then it would be correct to ask, can I take the bus here? So he was all right up to that point. And if she did, as he says, she did utter a profanity, as is described, then a police officer has no special authority. There are no exceptions in the use of obscene language. There are no exceptions that are to apply to police officers. In fact, police officers have an extra duty to be respectful, because one of the things that some officers don't recognize, you may find it more in the senior ranks, that it's probably easier to achieve what you want to achieve by being respectful, because you are standing on high moral ground when you start off not being wrong. So if that was the case, then the police officer was wrong in those circumstances. I say if that was the case.
If that was the case.
Right.
So if he used a profanity towards the individual or to the annoyance of the police officer or anyone in the surrounding, if he used it in a reaction towards a profanity that was thrown to him, then does that negate the fact that he could get arrested for using profanity?
But and that's the point. That's the other point, Junior. And that's where he went wrong. He would have been going all right up to that point.
Right.
Because he uses it and he makes comments that seem to amount, apart from the obscene language, he made comments that may be regarded as insulting language, might constitute insulting language. And there, I suppose, he lost it, and it does not make it right. In fact, I always use this illustration. I've had, to deal with instances where people curse people, and they ignore it. And the one day they curse back, the permanent cursor runs to the police station and makes a report.
Right.
It is no defense to say, well, he cursed me 99 times, and the first time I ever cursed him in my life, he then reports it. Because it's one of those offenses where you cursed or you didn't curse. If you cursed, then you are liable to be charged. And if he cursed in the presence of the officer, then in those circumstances, even though the officer was wrong, and then he can make a separate complaint in relation to the officer. In those circumstances, but I think that's where he may have departed from the right track that he was on. Now the question, yes, go ahead.
With the law, what is the law as it relates to profanity? Because I've heard something that says something to do with to the annoyance of another person.
Precisely, yes.
Right? So if it annoys a person to the point where they feel that way, then they could be charged. So if the police officer, if in fact, say we follow his narrative of the story, the police officer cursed a profanity, wouldn't that also be to the annoyance of the other people that's there and also his child and others that could have possibly witnessed?
Yes, right. And that's what I'm saying. It's profanities, the charge related to profanities is obscene language. It's a summary charge, normally not an arrestable offense. And in fact, many of these, there are two kinds of criminal offenses. It's divided into two broad categories. There are what you call summary offenses, and there are indictable offenses. Those are the two broad categories of criminal offense. The difference between the two is that a summary offense, and these summary offenses are identified, many of them in the criminal code, including the language like insulting language, obscene language, and they are tried and determined by a magistrate. So it's dealt with at the magistrate's court. Magistrate's courts deal with summary offenses. The indictable offenses are the more serious offenses. And what happens in the magistrate's court is the conduct of a preliminary inquiry by the magistrate to make a determination as to whether or not there is a case, what is called a prima facie case, to send up for trial before judge and jury in the High Court. So indictable offenses are tried in the High Court. Summary offenses are tried in the magistrate's court. Now, obscene language really constitutes the most basic of summary offenses. Yes, one can be charged. You can be summoned. For example, they are not normally offenses that one will arrest for, save and except you may not know the person's name. There is no need to necessarily restrain. If you know the person's name and address, then you can issue a summons. There, the aggravating factor would be that it's a uniform officer on duty being the target of obscene or insulting language. What would be taken by a court if he's charged for either obscene language or insulting language or both?
Right.
The fact that she used obscene language to him would not be a defense.
Right.
But what it will be is what you call a mitigating factor when you come to sentencing.
Kibbs is saying to the annoyance is subject to to anyone. Anyone could basically say, well, something that they say, you don't have to be obscene. It could be something that somebody say that you take it and it's to your annoyance. Does profanity always have, does annoyance always have to be profanity, or it could just be anything?
No. Well, that goes in the case of the specific charges for obscene language. And obscene language is specific in terms of the words used. Right. They are limited. So it's not all words that annoy you will constitute a charge. Right. In fact, there may be words that annoy you that don't constitute a criminal offense at all. So it's not the annoyance that it causes, but the words used. So in this case, obscene language relates to specific words used. And once those words are used, they constitute obscene language. But as you know, people, like even in normal language, they use obscene language, what is regarded as obscene language. However, the point is, in conversation, it's not annoying to those who hear it because they are speaking casually in conversation. Right. To be convicted of it, it must cause annoyance to the complainant, the one who complains. Right. So, as I said here, may have caused annoyance to him, but then what his response was, and I'm just saying it based on what he said, is to use it back. Right. Whether it's the same obscene language or not, and that exposes him to be liable to be charged for obscene language.
What is the right of, finish your thought there, but I also wanted to ask a question on the right of an individual after they are being arrested or in the process of being arrested. Right. Some people said in his case, he had the child, he should have just accepted, comply, and then complain afterwards, you know, resisting and you know, one of the things that was there when he lifted up the child and hold the child closer, it was a method of him resisting her handcuffing him because the child he didn't have the child in his arm for the entire time. So what is the law as it relates to when you are being arrested? What are some of the things that you should do and should always remember?
Right. So with an arrest, first of all, with an arrest, the officer who is doing the arrest must make it clear what he or she is arresting you for.
Yes.
And it must be made clear too that you are under arrest.
Yes.
So either clear words must be used, and the clearest words used is that you are under arrest, basically. Right. So you know it is in the intention of the officer to arrest you. But it's not just that you are under arrest, but you are under arrest for committing a specific offense. Right. You must be told what is the offense you are being arrested for. And as the saying goes, an arrest occurs when it is made very plain by what is said by the police officer or what is done by the police officer that the person under arrest or the suspect is no longer a free man. So, for example, in that that tape,
Mm-hmm.
one of the common features seen is that she holds him throughout.
Yeah.
And the holding throughout signifies that from her standpoint, whether or not she used the word, she may have used it, that he was under arrest. Now, when you are being, and there is the legal aspect of it, and you made an important observation too, there is the practical aspect of it, because there is a child in the midst, and what you want is to act in the best interest of the child so that the child is not hurt.
Right.
The child is not placed in the middle of a fray and possibly gets the worst of it. And therefore, in those circumstances, what is advisable to the person who is being arrested? You can protest the arrest. You say, okay, I'm going with you, but I'm going under protest.
Oh, so you should verbalize that. You should verbalize that to the police officer.
In other words, you can say, because you know there are instances where, for example, a police officer says, well, go with me or come with me, you are under arrest, and you don't feel that the officer is justified in arresting you.
Right.
However, arresting you, but you go voluntarily. You don't register any protest. But if you feel that you are being unjustifiably arrested and you may wish to take it up later on, then you may register your protest. Because the other method is to fight with the officer. And fighting with the officer is never advisable for many reasons. And the first reason is that, well, let me just premise that by saying that an individual has a right in law to resist an unlawful arrest. So, if an arrest is lawful, then you must comply and go along, because if you resist, then you can be charged with several other offenses, and there's usually a particular menu of offenses associated with those occasions, including obscene language, insulting language, disorderly behavior, resisting arrest. So you have about 6 or 7 charges that flows out of it. And if the arrest was lawful, then you are exposed to conviction on several other charges, even apart from what started an altercation. But the flip side of that is that if the arrest is unlawful, then you have a right to resist.
Right. In this case here, Ruggles, we have his child. So if she's making the arrest, she's making the arrest on him, not his child. His child didn't do anything wrong. But by default, the child has to be taken in as well. Shouldn't the police officer take that into consideration? Because the child is innocent, the child is crying, the child is traumatized, clearly traumatized. What then happened in this situation? The child is going to be arrested too, or not arrested in term arrested, but the child is going to be taken in as well, because the father can just leave the child on the side of the road.
Yes. Well, and again, that is where discretion in these circumstances, because even it's not always, and I'm just speaking generally here, not necessarily in relation to this matter, but where there can be a potential fracas, there is an obligation to try to de-escalate the situation as best as possible.
Keyword, de-escalate.
Right? To de-escalate.
Yeah. Because if a riot was going to be formed, and this police officer is the only police officer on site, and there's 50, 60, 70 other people who could potentially cause a riot, you're not going to try to pull one person and arrest them if it's going to create a riot and you don't have any backup. So discretion has to be used in this instant.
Yes, discretion. Well, I must say, and whatever one thinks about the officer, Junior, that the officer is a very gutsy officer.
Yeah.
In other words, very assertive, and seem not to be afraid to face the situation all alone.
Yeah.
As despite comments and so. And therefore, from that standpoint, it is a strong point, because you see a female officer engaging with a male, and you can hear adverse comments in the background.
Yes.
Maybe a young officer too. And if it is said that she used the words that she used, then that is where she herself, if that is so, would have stepped out of bounds and would not have assisted, I was about to say, in de-escalating, but in not bringing about the situation at all. Because if all he asked was if I can board the bus, there's nothing wrong in so doing, if that's the correct version. But so I'm saying, in terms of rights, to return to the specific issue, if it's a lawful arrest, then it's advisable that you go along and you deal with the issues accordingly, because you face the possibility of being slapped with a wider menu of charges and being found guilty of those charges.
Yeah.
If the situation, if it's an unlawful arrest, then you have a right to resist in law. The difficulty is that resistance then may lead to people getting hurt. And in this case, too, consideration has to be taken by all parties, both the officer and the gentleman, that there's a child involved and there's a possibility that the child can get hurt.
Yeah.
And in those circumstances, some degree of compromise is necessary. Obviously, from the video, the officer herself is not giving up, and he himself is standing his ground.
Yeah.
And that always in circumstances where people are angry, that can explode in a manner and lead to things that neither party anticipated, and lead, of course, to regrets.
We got a call on the line, Ruggles. Let's jump to the call. We have a call on the line. Caller live, where are you calling us from?
Hi, I'm calling from New York, and I'm watching the video, and I think, in my opinion, that whole situation just went way overboard. Yes, he should not probably resist, but I think the police officer showed a high degree of aggression by her grabbing the young man, dropping her hat on the ground, showing that, she's just manhandling him. And she should have some kind of discretion. He's carrying a baby. The baby is definitely traumatized, and he's emotional. So I think she was just too aggressive, and she needs to calm down, because there's other ways you can handle someone, not by grabbing his shirt. That's just disrespectful and taking things overboard and being very inconsiderate for a young infant.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your input. Thank you for your call. Ruggles, and also I want you to add to the fact that she took her hat off and she threw it on the ground, or she put it on the ground. I ain't gonna say throw, because it's not like she pelted like people were saying. She was going to rest it somewhere, and she ended up resting it on the ground. Does that have any issue? Do you see any issues there?
Well, as part of your uniform, one should avoid at all costs from that happening.
Right.
And to avoid that happening, because as you can see, the kind of comments it drew. One wonders what was the purpose of so doing, whether or not she anticipated a level of engagement with the gentleman, and that the hat might possibly stand in the way of she being able to do what she wished to do. But as far as possible,
stick up in this. Sorry, don't forget your train of thought.
Yes.
But look at her hairstyle, right? Shouldn't that be an issue that take into consideration? Two things. One, if the hat can't fit on your head, if you should wear a hairstyle of some sort where your hat could fit on your head, right? And not having to put it down or rest it down or possibly lose it. That should be a consideration. And then the second thing is, I saw somebody mention it. Are officers on patrol, right? Is it the best practice to have officers on patrol in clothing where they are less likely to, say, run down an individual or catch an individual or handle someone? Like, she's wearing a skirt. Nothing wrong with that. But shouldn't there be some kind of different practice in terms of officers that's on patrol and how they should wardrobe and how they hair and how the hat should fit on their head with the appropriate hairstyles and stuff like that?
Well, I mean, it's part of the uniform. So she's given a uniform which she has to wear. Maybe, as you point out, there might be some need for changes in the uniform. But as far as the uniform is concerned, that's what she's given, and that's what she wears.
Yeah, it's not necessarily her fault.
Yes. So, but I want to again comment. I'm not too sure what were the comments made before I came on, but I think from my observation, of course, there are people commenting, making adverse comments, but also I see some people commendably, and I recognize one person in particular who seems to be trying to calm the situation. I see a gentleman, and he appears in the video just about now, where he seemed to be, trying to calm down the parties. And, one of the things that we sometimes observe with situations like these is that some people egg it on. The excitement. Let's see a fight here. Let's see somebody beat the police.
Yeah.
Or let's see the police teach this person a lesson. When they can play a role in trying to calm the situation. And I think from what is seen, there are one or two individuals trying to play that role. And maybe it could have escalated much earlier had not there been some sober intervention to try to calm the waters. And especially, there's need for compromise when a child is involved.
Right.
When a child, because you don't want something done out of the anger of the moment that everyone lives to regret. Because it's obvious in a situation as that, where tempers are flaring, that either party can act in an irrational way. And with a child in the center of it all, one has to be cautious, about it. But no doubt, I am sure that it would be subject to some kind of investigation as to what actually went on. You see, the guy was on, he gave his version. She would no doubt have a version. But one of the aspects that need to be stressed with police officers in particular, as professionally trained people, they have a higher obligation to try to de-escalate situations.
True.
Because one can put one's own self in harm's way if the softer measures of control, are not used. And that is something that it comes with training, and it comes with experience. Is experience too.
Yeah,
and for the public, police officers come out of the bowels of society. They grew up in the same society that we all grew up in, and as far as possible, in order to maintain, order, and don't get into unnecessary issues and confrontations, that the public have their own role to play. It's important that individuals understand their rights too.
Yes.
So that they can know that they can enforce their rights without necessarily engaging in a fight. Because the more you don't expose yourself to being placed in the wrong by what you do subsequently, is the greater the possibility that you can succeed in an action subsequently. In other words, let the other side make the mistakes.
Right. True.
Whatever the other side, is from whatever perspective.
We got an interesting call. We got an interesting caller on the line right now. Caller, you are live. We on the program. Are you calling to be a part of the conversation as well?
No, let me call it back.
Okay, cool. No problem. No problem. All right. Ruggles, that was actually the young man that called in. He also made allegations, right, that the police officer, and that's allegation, that's alleged, that after he was arrested and he was in the presence of the child, the police officer sprayed mace. That of course was in close proximity to him and his child. Well, we don't know that to be a fact because, again, it's just allegations. But based on what you're seeing, do you see any disciplinary action that might be taken against this police officer?
Well, no, you see, I wouldn't want to go that far to prejudice any, as an officer of the court, to prejudice any action one way or another, and to judge it publicly without hearing all sides of the story, and more importantly, to allow the entity that is charged with the responsibility of determining these issues, which is the court, to do their job. I merely would wish we're as far as possible to provide as much learning on the law.
Yes.
And what is the law in circumstances like these? So, for example, the issue of the use of force, the issue of the use of force, and it comes back to if an arrest is lawful or whether it is unlawful. As I said, if it's unlawful, then the individual who is being arrested has a right to resist. If it's lawful and an individual is resisting, then the officer will have the right to use whatever reasonable force is necessary to affect the arrest. So if you have to judge force, the question would be, one, whether the force in effecting the arrest is reasonable, or whether it is out of proportion
Right.
to what the situation demands. And then if it is out of proportion, then an officer exposes him or herself to action, whether disciplinary or some civil action on the part of the individual. So
stick up in there, Ruggles. We got a caller. We're waiting for quite a while on the line. Caller, where are you calling us from?
Good night, sir. Well, as I said to you two guys, good night.
Yes, good night.
I'm calling from Cherry Hill, eh?
Cherry Hill, go right ahead.
Right. I watched the whole video.
Yes.
Okay? I didn't listen to his story. I didn't listen to her story. I didn't listen to nobody saying this or saying that. I watched the whole video.
Yes.
Now, in the whole experience I'm seeing, there's two parties, and yes, I'm not saying he's right, she's wrong, but there's certain things that she did that went totally off the board.
Right.
And I know for surety there are ex-police that see this whole video escalated. And trust me, this video has gone worldwide. Yeah? When I mean worldwide, there are people from the UK that are messaging in. And trust me, they are pissed off.
Right.
And this is not a nice thing for us. You understand?
Yes.
And I know a lot of people are saying that's the reason why a lot of wrong things are going wrong in Grenada. That is the reason why a lot of people are taking advantage of us. Because as how you watch the video and you heard, well, you didn't see it from the starting, but you see it where she grabbed him. And you heard him said, but I ask you for permission. So that means you can see there now that he did ask her for permission. But if she actually told him, do you think there is an effing terminal? Trust me, she put feelings into that.
Right. Well,
that's
again,
wrong.
that is his side. That is not.
Yeah, that is his side.
Confirmed.
That is his side.
That is the story.
Because,
but I get you.
But the thing is, she did not even okay, it have officers that I know in town, all right? They just be in town on a regular basis.
Right.
And they have some elderly people, people that will come from, say, by the doctor, they're weak, they're tired. Sometimes when they see a bus, they will say, officer, can I take this bus here? And the condition then, the officer will be lenient and stop the bus for them.
Right.
All right? Now, it have an incident that happened 2 weeks back with me, that we hop on a bus on the terminal. The bus left the terminal. It turned to go for St. John. But you know when you had to go for Halifax Street, you're reaching by Cashways and Foodland.
Right.
Now, since the guy left off, he said something don't right to the bus. The bus don't move in correctly. It's like he said something with the computer again problem. He feel he gonna make it on Grannans. The same time he was looking to turn to go down Foodland side, he saw another Grannans bus and he blew the bus and he said, my boy, take these people and them. He ain't gonna make it on Grannans. So all of us rush out of the bus and rush into the next bus. Same time, our officers saw us. And what she did? She came down to find out what is the problem. All right? Now, she used her discretion now to hear what went on. But the driver now, he froze because, bus drivers now you're picking up passengers. Okay, is a ticket you're looking for. But I decided to open my mouth and I said, officer, the man that going down there in that blue bus there, he said something going wrong with the bus computer or something, he gonna make it on Grannans. So he tell this driver here to take us. And the driver shout out, all right, he there right there still and he shout out, officer, my bus ain't working properly. So I tell them to don't hop on the next bus. Is when the bus door was closing now, the conductor back was facing her because the bus was getting rammed. So one passenger had to drop out, and she simply said, "It's not a problem. I understand the situation. It's not a problem, but."
Sorry, I don't mean to. I don't mean to cut you, but can I speed it up? Can I speed it up a bit? Because Ruggles have to leave, and we have about 5 more minutes.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, in this whole situation, you have some officers will be lenient. All right. But the fact is that, remember, you spoke about the child. All right. The child is innocent. All right.
Yes.
Child will not know what really going on. But the way you have to rags up the man with the child, and then here the next thing, you want a stranger to take the child.
Right.
So next minute, now the man give the stranger the child. He go in the station. The parents and them asking, "No, where is the child? What really going on there?" And then on the fact of the matter, the child is not a Grenadian.
Well, she didn't know that. I don't know if she know that. And I don't know if that's relevant to if the child is a Grenadian.
She know that. She did not know that. She did not know that, but she pepper sprayed them.
Well, it's alleged. It's alleged that she did pepper spray.
It's alleged, yes, but that is totally. And the next thing what happened, I watched the video and they coming to the end, with the traffic wardens approach.
Right.
And they responded with the officer reaction. And they start to arouse things now. As how I would say it now. If it was something more dramatic now and them have weapons now.
Right.
And the guy was what they would have done now, they would have shot him.
Right. Okay, caller. Thank you so much for your input.
They did not use. No, I understand. But I mean, they have to look into this matter very carefully. You understand? Very, very thoroughly.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, there's two parties. The two parties are wrong. I'm not saying that this party right, that party right.
Yes,
I'm saying the two parties are wrong. But something has to be done.
Thank you so much. We have another caller, but Ruggles, I wanna get I know you have to leave just now, so I wanna give you an opportunity to give some closing education. And while you do that, Ruggles, someone just said to me that, Junior, you grew up in Grenada and you don't know the difference between toss, throw, or put down, right? So I want to play back this video really slowly again, just to get an understanding as to what the officer did with her hat. Did she rest it down? Did she throw it, or did she pelt it down? Let me take a quick look at it again. Okay. How do you define that? That was a put down, a rest down, a throw.
Oh, you asking me, Junior? Is a rhetorical?
I try to analyze it, so I don't know if you have better eyes.
Well, I mean, whatever is the description, it's ended on the ground.
Ended up on the ground. But she put it
right. So, and the point is that what was the reason for doing so? Probably she would have more explanation. But I want to go back to a more fundamental point that the last caller, in a sense, alluded to, but did not put it in as much words. And that is, in the exercise of power, discretion is important. Discretion is important. It's important at times not to act as robots, because you will be facing different circumstances. And what you want is a situation where the police and the public share a good relationship, because no doubt the police have an important role to play, and the public is also critical in assisting the police in playing that role. And therefore, training is important. So possibly a more senior officer might say, okay, gentlemen, either we can't comply with your request because so and so, but may be able to assist in a different way, whatever that way is.
Right.
May feel that what he specifically requested. But that's where the flexibility and the discretion comes in. And it's important, especially when one is exercising authority, to be respectful. And because you can achieve the same thing. Some of the more firm officers who don't get in trouble are those who carry out their duties with respect.
Yes.
Who are patient, who take the abuse, and then do what they have to do, undeterred by the abuse. Now, obviously, and another important tool, and that's where training comes in, is conflict resolution.
Yeah.
Right? And the ability to de-escalate is linked to conflict resolution techniques. To be able to assess a particular situation and to know how to act in a manner that would not necessarily escalate the situation.
Yes.
Because here we have a situation, whoever was right or whoever was wrong, it leads to certain criticisms. It leads to reflection of certain weaknesses. Things were done that possibly ought not to be done. And it may be otherwise a good officer who is faced with a situation that she finds difficult to handle. Based on our training to inject that, conflict resolution component to it.
Yes.
So there are a lot of lessons to learn, and importantly, out of these lessons, as I say, my focus is not to comment on whether who is right or wrong, because there's a body that is responsible for doing so. There may be certain matters arising out of this incident, but what I definitely can say is that it's important for everybody to know rights and powers, the powers of the police, the powers of arrest, when an arrest can take place, and the fact that an arrest should always be lawful. And there are certain things that ought to be said when an arrest is being carried out to make it clear that it's an arrest.
Yes.
So maybe, I don't know if the officer may have uttered the words that you're under arrest, and the individual must know, any individual, whether himself or any other individual, what you are being arrested for.
Yeah,
because an arrest represents a denial of liberty, which is fundamental.
Yes.
And therefore, if you are taking it away, the person has a right to know what you are taking it away from, and to the public to be cautious, to be as sober as possible, to also assist in not to escalate a matter as far as possible, because what can possibly happen is that you expose yourself beyond the initial issue that caused the problem in the first case.
Yeah.
If you resist, and it turns out to be a lawful arrest, you're being liable for so many more offenses than you contended for. And as we all know, when people are angry, that things happen that would not otherwise happen.
Thank you so much, Ruggles, for your legal perspective. I think I know you have to leave. I just have one last caller on the line. I don't know if you have a question that I would direct it to you, but caller, you're live. Hello?
Hello, Junior.
Hey, caller.
Yeah. I was listening all the time, and I didn't want to call in. But I just felt I had to call in.
Right.
I was on the spot.
Oh, you was there?
I was there on the spot.
Okay.
I saw what took place.
Okay. Bring it to the perspective.
I could go to the court in the morning, please God. And I'm listening. I don't know the young man. I don't know the police officer.
Right.
So I am not biased to anybody.
Okay.
But as a citizen of Grenada, I could go to His Majesty's court, I rest my hand on the Bible and say what I saw and with a clear conscience.
What did you saw? What did you see? Sorry.
Now, the young man obviously he had a heavy bag on his back. He had 2 bags in his hand and the child. Right? He was going to West Hall. Right? The bus was coming down. He simply said to the officer, the bag is heavy. I'm going to West Hall. You're not bus in terminal. Could I go on the bus? Because I'm going to. And she, from then, she lost all her powers. She said to him, "What me? You feel like the effing bus terminal?"
Oh, you heard the police officer use profanity towards the gentleman.
I heard the police officer use profanity to the gentleman.
Okay.
I heard it.
Okay.
So it's not alleged. I'm not alleging anything.
Right.
I heard it. Right? So then when she did that, the gentleman asked her, he said, "Officer, you have any children? They don't have business." Anyway, no. So then he said to her, "That is why you're effing getting on so." You understand? And that is where she felt embarrassed or whatever she felt. And she grabbed the man in the collar. No, that is not making an arrest. That is looking for fights. That is not making an arrest. That is looking for fight.
Okay.
You understand? And then she tossed the hat on the ground now and to be more command and more control. And then was passing orders to the traffic wardens who they put them there. They didn't even know what to do for themselves. Passing orders and passing orders to people to take the child and do all kind of thing and make us a marriage with yourself. You understand? Yes, I mean, come on. Obviously, the gentleman, he got angry, but at least he tried to control himself.
Right.
Because he had his child with some other person. This could end up worse.
Yeah.
Because you're embarrassing me like that. And then after, so that went on for a while. I'm standing in front of Farmer Garden Center, and I'm like, what the heck is going on here? What's really going on? And then she ordered the traffic warden to take out the mace from the purse on her side. I saw that. Nobody didn't tell me. I saw that. You understand? And with the child in the man's hand, you pepper spray him like religion. You're not even thinking about the child. Okay, forget the man. He's a big man. But you're not thinking there's an infant that could get seriously injured by you doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Like, really? I don't care what he's a big man. Okay, fine.
Yes.
But think about the child. Your job as a police officer is to protect and serve. Firstly, your job is to protect and serve.
Right. Yes.
You understand? But I don't understand where this power struggle coming from. What she was trying to prove. The man has a child in his hand.
Yes.
Call for backup. Do something.
Carla, listen, thank you for putting that into perspective for us. We have to wrap because Ruggles have to leave, but I appreciate you giving us some context to some of the information that was shared here, right? Thank you so much, and we appreciate you, all right?
All right, you're welcome, man.
Thanks again. Ruggles, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So here we have our eyewitness.
Yes, and what I would say is that his input would be more than useful if shared with the authorities, maybe because evidence is what is given in court.
Yes.
And he may think of assisting in clarifying what happened by offering to give a statement about what he saw.
Yeah.
And that's all part of the public's.
And it back up the information chronologically what we heard from the gentleman and his story as well. So
yes.
Yeah. So, Ruggles, listen, thank you for chatting with us, giving us a legal perspective. We really appreciate you, and you know that your time is precious, and we took a lot of your time. You give us even more time
Well,
than you said
yes,
that
I
you would.
realize that. Yes.
We appreciate that. Thank you so much, Ruggles.
Okay,
right.
Thank you, and good evening. Good evening to your listeners and viewers.
Thank you so much. All right, bye-bye. Yeah, guys, that was Attorney Ruggles Ferguson. Always available, to give us this legal perspective on cases and incidents like these. We still have the phone lines open, 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. But before we open up the phone lines, I got to tell you guys, I'm supposed to tell you that from the beginning, right? Now, we are inside of a 2-for-1 special. We have our bingo coming up, our ride-along bingo coming up. So anytime within this program, guys, from now until we end the program, if you go to ridebuy.com and you purchase a bingo ticket, remember the bingo, $6,000 bingo. If you purchase one ticket, you get two. Tickets are $20 and you could win up to $6,000 US. So anytime from now till the end of the program, if you buy one ticket on ridebuy.com for a ride-along bingo, you get two tickets. So you're inside our 2-for-1 special, and that's every time ride-along is aired at this point in time. So you have about 10 more minutes, just about 10 more minutes until you get your ticket. Chance to win $6,000. All right? You're inside our 2-for-1 special. At the same time, guys, the phone lines are open, 718-701-5720. Want your input on this. Let me know what you thought, what your thoughts, what you feel, what you saw, and, of course, your reaction. We just heard this caller, eyewitness, back up the information that he saw. Basically, back up the information that was told earlier in the video. I want to play back that as well for those of you who missed what the young man said in his story. I want to play that back and listen again what he had to say as to what transpired. Listen again.
Okay, all right, cool. No problem. Yeah, so give us ideas what happened today.
Okay. So first of all, my name is Julius Mapson from Wester Hall. Well, I reside with my lady in Cherry Hill. Lady and children in Cherry Hill. And I left yesterday because my lady, she had some things to do. So I decided I would take my little son to go to the country. I left up North Hall. So see, just spend a time with the grandma. So on the way down, I realized he didn't have no bus in the terminal.
Right.
So I decided, okay, we go walk. We walk, say, okay, we'll get a bus on the canal. So while going across the canal, well, not on the canal, sorry, by Farm and Garden, right in town there, and the police is patrolling traffic.
Right.
I saw St. David bus, so I asked the officer, is it okay if I could take the bus, please? Because I have two bags in my hand. I have the child and I have a big bag on my back.
Right.
She said, if I'm here, look like the mother so and so terminal, I don't want to use the obscene language.
The police officer said that?
Yes, she said, if I'm here, look like the effing terminal. So I said, officer, you don't have children? She said, no. I said, that way you can effing me. I said, no. I said, that way you effing have her, or something like that. And I just walk out. And she decided she just go with me. She decided she lock him up. And some indecent assault or what it is. And if you cost me first, there is no, I mean, come on. I will tell you back as it is. Just as she gave me the F-word, I give her back.
What was the charges?
She said, I can't remember it by heart. But Tracy, you can remember the charges? You go on the paper there. I have it marked up. They give me a paper to bring to a lawyer. But I find I was totally disrespectful. A lot of disrespect. And then while she locked me up, right? And she stopped the same bus that I was going to take. Well, actually, a Ghana's bus. And with the handcuff on my hand, with the child, and she lock up, she take my mother as well and spray us down with the mace after. grab my child and cover my child, and she mace me down with my handcuff on her.
She made.
Sorry, you guys wasn't hearing me. I apologize. I said so much. What I was saying, guys. Sorry. Okay. What I was saying was, if the fact remained that if the police officer did utter this profanity towards the gentleman, that is wrong. Because at the end of the day, the police officers should be trained in de-escalation, how to de-escalate a situation, not to make a situation worse, not to create any kind of fight or rival or brawl, to de-escalate a situation. In many cases, you guys not hear? Yeah. Okay, you guys hear me now? You guys should be hearing me now. Yeah. Yes. As I was saying, in many cases, officers could even write a person a ticket and deal with the situation afterwards. Sometimes that has to happen. All right. Okay, good. Yvonne, thank you so much. All right, guys. So it has to be discretionary. Police officers have to use their discretion. No police officer is going to go and enter a brawl where they see 10 men fighting, 15 men fighting, cutlass on, and jump in the middle and try to arrest somebody in the middle of that brawl, especially if you is the only one. You have to use your discretion. And probably some officers who are more trained, seasoned officers may have made a different decision, or made a different choice, all right? But we're going to continue updating you guys on this story right here on Ride Along Live. We're going to keep publishing some more additional information, because during this program, we even got some more people sending us information, some other eyewitness that also sending some text on the WhatsApp, confirming that yes, in fact, that what he outlined did in fact happen in that way. All right. We'll continue to update you guys on what happened in this particular case right here. Again, guys, as I was telling you, we are inside a next 5 minutes of 2-for-1 special. So this next 5 minutes, guys, is all for the Ride Along Bingo 2-for-1 special. So in the next 5 minutes, go over to rideby.com, head over to rideby.com. You got 5 minutes and purchase your tickets. You buy one, you get two. After you purchase your tickets, guys, just tell me you purchase your tickets, and then I'll get a chance to big you guys up right here. So just purchase your ticket and come back and tell me, yeah, you got your ticket, and I'll big you up right here and send you your ticket right away. 2-for-1 special. You got 5 minutes to go to do that, guys. 5 minutes to get your tickets. Go to rideby.com. That's rideby.com, and get your tickets now. You have 5 minutes. Yeah, you got 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Okay, so we got some orders. We got a bunch of orders, in fact. A big up to Marcel, big up to Sally Ann, big up to Nicola, big up to Sandra. And I'm sending you guys tickets right now. Guys, if you buy 2 tickets, you get 4. So if you buy 1, you get 2. You buy 2, you get 4. All right, this is the 2-for-1 twofers. All right, I'm sending the tickets to you guys right now. 2-for-1 special, guys. Do it right now. You have 4 more minutes. 2-for-1 special. You got 4 more minutes. If you buy 3, you get in 6. It's double. Everything double. Rideby.com. Go and get it right now. Rideby.com. 2 for a special. 2 for a special. You don't have much more time, guys. You don't have much more time. Get it quick. Jump on it quickly. Quickly. As soon as you purchase your ticket, guys, I want you to tell me that you got your tickets. As soon as you purchase your ticket, you remember $6,000 bingo, and that's on the 23rd. Kibbs just bought another ticket. Congratulations to you, Kibbs. You just got another one. So you're going to get 2. Remember, guys, your opportunity to win $6,000. You got 3 minutes left. 3 minutes left. 3 minutes left. You got 3 minutes left. So I'm sending some tickets right now. To Marcel. Marcel, we just sent you your ticket. Check your email. We just sent you your ticket. Congratulations, Marcel. You bought 1. You got 2. Who else we have? We have guys. 2 more minutes. Salian, we're sending you your tickets right now. You bought 1, you're gonna get 2. Remember, guys, $6,000 in our ride along bingo. $6,000. Your opportunity to win $6,000 right here live on the 23rd, just in time for Christmas. Just in time for Christmas. And don't forget, guys, when you win your ticket and thing, I mean, when you win your bingo and thing, you win your $6,000. Or they could, take me out on a dinner date or something, all right? Okay? All right. Don't forget that, Treat your boy good, Hey, Cornell, thank you so much. Judith. Yes, Judith, you could play from Trinidad. Judith, absolutely, you could play from Trinidad. Anywhere in the world. Miz, big up yourself. We see you. You purchased your ticket. Congratulations. I'm going to send you your ticket. You could play from anywhere in the world. Rightby.com. Somebody pin the link at the bottom for me. Pin the link. 2 minutes left. Judith, big up yourself. Yes, guys, $6,000. $6,000 in your hand. You could win right here on a ride along bingo. 2 minutes left for a 2 for special. 2 minutes left, guys. 2 minutes left for a 2 for special. 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left for a 2 for special. Go ahead and get it right now. You got 2 minutes left. 1 minute and 30 seconds. 1 minute and 30 seconds. 1 minute and 30 seconds left, guys. 1 minute and 30 seconds left. 2 for a special. You buy 2, you get 4. Ian Baker. Big up yourself, Ian Baker. Remember, guys, you could get 4 tickets for $80. Sorry, 5 tickets for $80, eh? Kibbs, I'm sending you a ticket right now. Kibbs. You're safe. Remember, $6,000. You have 1 minute left. Ian Baker, click on the link. Gail just posted the link. 2 for special, guys. 2 for special, guys. 2 for special. You have 30 seconds left. 30 seconds left in our 2 for special. 30 seconds left for our 2 for special, guys. You buy 1, you get 2. You buy 2, you get 4. Rightby.com. Bingo, $6,000. Check out the ad, guys. We'll be right back. Don't move.
In the Mar-a-Lago investigation, what do you make of this Trump legal argument that we just heard about?
Thank you, Wolf. It's always a pleasure being here on CNN. But as I was talking to Don Lemon just a few weeks ago, I don't understand why every time I'm here is to discuss Trump. Listen, I am from the Caribbean. I'm from Grenada. And there is enough political back and forth for me to study Trump. It's not on my radar. It's just not something that I think about. In fact, the information that I received was that I was here to talk about my bingo. Yeah, my bingo that's happening on the 23rd of December. $6,000. $6,000, Wolf. We are giving away $6,000. Jackpot is $4,000. Tickets is only $20. Only $20. And you can get your tickets online at ridebuy.com. Yeah, that's ridebuy.com. Anybody everywhere in the world could play this. Just go on to ridebuy.com. Now, one ticket is $20 and 5 tickets is $80. Now, that's much more interesting to me than talking about jumping. In fact, I cannot participate further in this conversation. I just wasn't really prepared.
George, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah. All right, Cornell, Marcel, I see your ticket. I see it came in. I'm looking at it right here. I'm going to send you a ticket in 5 minutes. All right. There we had like about 50 something orders that just came in. So I'm going to send you a ticket right away. I'm going to send everybody a ticket right away. All right, guys. Okay. Thanks for watching. Thanks for playing, guys. Thanks for being a part of our program. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being a ride or die. Catch you guys again tomorrow on behalf of all the production team here at Ride Along Live. Our senior executive producer, Lois JJ. She was under the weather. I'm happy to say she's feeling a lot better. And also her mom. How are you doing? They're watching us on big screen TV all the time. Also to our moderators, Kibbs, thank you so much. Gail Charles, Tian Fraser, and all of our friends and families and supporters in Ghana. Big up yourself, folks in Ghana. And I forget to tell you guys that our trip to Ghana, our Touch Africa, Ghana, March 3rd to the 10th, that is officially sold out. We have no more seats available. Trip to Ghana has been officially sold out. Done. Finished. Our next trip, guys, we're going to be going to Dubai. Yeah, we are going to be going to Dubai, October 2023, but you have to register now. October to Dubai is going to be amazing. Get your tickets. You can start paying now. Pay a little $200. You have 7 months to pay off the total. To get your ticket and book for a Dubai experience, Ride Along in Dubai, you go to Riders Travel. Let me put it in there, riderstravel.com. That's RYDERS travel.com. You see all the information that you need there for Dubai. Remember, the Ghana trip is completely sold out. Our next Ghana trip is going to be in December of 2023. All right? But I'll tell you more information about that. Good night, riders. Catch you guys again tomorrow.
Carpentry and Cleaning Servicing, providing exceptional carpet and cleaning, floor installation, refinishing, home renovations, drywall, painting, plastering, doors and moldings, electrical and plumbing, and much more. We are a one-stop shop for all your professional needs. Give us a call today on 718-221-5572. That is 718-221-5572. Or you can call our cell on 917-939-3192. Check out our sales on all services. We're located at 218 Schenectady Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Phillips Carpentry and Cleaning Servicing.
Grenadian products are now only a mouse click away at grenadamarket.com. Nutmeg and guava jams, jellies and the syrups, world famous nutmeg pain relief spray, black sage, soursop, lemongrass, and guabande bar. Ordering is simple and friendly. All major credit cards accepted. Safe, secure shopping guaranteed. GrenadaMarket.com ships your product anywhere in the world. So when you can't go to the island, the products off the island can be sent to you. Just log on to www.GrenadaMarket.com and experience our quick delivery and homely service.
In the Mar-a-Lago investigation, what do you make of this Trump legal argument that we just heard about?
You know, thank you, Wolf. Thank you, Wolf. It's always a pleasure being here on CNN. But you know, as I was talking to Don Lemon just a few weeks ago, I don't understand why every time I'm here is to discuss Trump. Listen, I am from the Caribbean. I'm from Grenada. And there is enough political back and forth for me to study Trump. Nah, it's not on my radar. It's just not something that I think about. In fact, the information that I received was that I was here to talk about my bingo. Yeah, my bingo that's happening on the 23rd of December. $6,000, Wolf. We are giving away $6,000. Jackpot is $4,000. Tickets is only $20. Only $20, and you can get your tickets online at ridebuy.com. Yeah, that's ridebuy.com. Anybody everywhere in the world could play this. Just go on to ridebuy.com. Now, one ticket is $20 and 5 tickets is $80. Now, that's much more interesting to me than talking about Trump. In fact, I cannot participate further in this conversation. I just wasn't really prepared.